The old way of growing on YouTube is officially dead. That's a bold statement. But look, I analyzed 246,789 videos from the top performing channels of 2026. And what I found is going to piss off every YouTube guru on the planet because it goes against a lot of the conventional wisdom. Actually, you know what? It's probably going to piss you off too because there are a lot of harsh truths there that you might not want to hear. But I'm going to share them anyway. So today I'm going to walk you through 7 brutal truths to grow on YouTube in 2026. Who am I and why am I qualified to talk about this? My name's Nick. I grew my finance channel from 0 to 35k subs this year just to prove I could do it. I've been on YouTube for 15 years. I advise massive channels and brands with millions of subscribers. I also run Cube AI and my software has scanned over 200 million YouTube videos. So when I say something has shifted, it's not just intuition, it's all data backed, right? And today we're going to zero in on the top roughly 250,000 videos of 2026 and the data we got from them. And I want to start with one that's going to hurt a lot of people because a lot of you guys are doing this right now. Stop using Claude and ChatGPT to write your scripts. I know it feels like a productivity hack. You paste in your title, you get a script in 30 seconds, you edit it a little bit, you chuck it on the teleprompter, boom, easy, you're ready to go. The problem is viewers can smell it. A study from Retention Rabbit in May of 2025 found that monotonous AI written narration causes a 35% higher viewer drop-off in the first 45 seconds compared to human-led delivery, of course. 35% extra in the first 45 seconds. And don't give me the, yeah, but I use Claude differently, man. I input my transcripts and it learns to write like me. No, it doesn't. That's nonsense. This is data from a Tube AI survey. The retention drop-off for Claude and ChatGPT written scripts is just absurd. And it gets worse, by the way. A Raptive study from 2025 found that consumer trust drops by roughly 50% the moment content is perceived to be AI generated, regardless of whether it actually is. So even if your script is technically fine, if it sounds like an LLM wrote it, you've already lost half your audience's trust before you've even made a single point. And here's the kicker. That's a vibe, not a fact. Let that sink in. That's all AI slop. All those lines I just said, AI slop. And you probably recognize them, especially the here's the kicker one. Everyone's saying that on YouTube all of a sudden. I don't think anyone in human history ever said, here's the kicker. But anyway, whatever. Look, here's the point. Top performers, this is what they're actually doing. They are ad-libbing. They are sitting down with a bunch of bullet points, hitting record and just talking. That's what I'm doing right now. And the data backs this up. Unscripted videos generate nearly 2x the engagement of polished scripted content. And look, it makes sense when you think about it. A scripted video sounds like a performance. An unscripted video sounds like a person just talking to you. So the next time you're tempted to ask Claude to write your script, just ask it to write 5 bullet points for you, or better yet, just write the bloody bullet points yourself, hit record and trust yourself, trust the process. Which brings me to the second brutal truth. And this might make a lot of you uncomfortable. Get used to live streams. When you go live on YouTube, the algorithm treats your stream completely differently to regular videos. Within the first 30 minutes, your live stream gets a massive algo boost that a normal upload just doesn't. YouTube injects your stream to a seed audience, basically anyone who's interacted with your content recently. And if a user search for a topic related to your stream in the last 24 hours, you can show up in their feed even if they've never watched you before. That's absolutely insane. YouTube live watch time hit 14.83 billion hours in Q2 of 2025, by the way, and it's overtaking Twitch now. YouTube Live is overtaking Twitch. Insane. Now, look, I know what you're thinking, but Nick, I don't have an audience to go live to. Well, neither did most of the creators who blew up doing this. The point is, when you go live, you're tapping into a completely different algorithmic system than your normal uploads, which means even small creators are getting in front of viewers who would never have found their long-form content otherwise. Also, with the preponderance of AI slop these days, people are just liking live streams because they're real. And this actually brings me to brutal truth number 3. In a world drowning in AI content, people are absolutely starving for human content again. Late 2025 data showed that over 20% of videos shown to brand new YouTube users were classified as AI slop. Low effort, mass produced, faceless, text-to-speech, templated garbage. And viewers have noticed this, by the way. Low-effort AI videos see up to 5.4 times decrease in traffic compared to human-led content. And YouTube has noticed too, by the way. I mean, and we all know this, right? In July of 2025, they renamed their old repetitious content policy into inauthentic content policy. And then in January of 2026, they ran the largest mass termination of AI-driven channels in YouTube's history. If you've been running a faceless AI channel pumping out 10 videos a day, I have some bad news for you. YouTube is hunting you. I mean, they probably already got you, to be fair. So how do you actually take advantage of this craving for human content? Talk to people like you're just having a drink with a mate. And I cannot stress this enough. The creators absolutely crushing it right now have they've leaned harder into conversational, intimate delivery. They sound like a friend telling you about something they've just figured out, not a professor delivering a lecture. And the data on this is actually pretty wild. Content perceived as low effort or overproduced shows up to 70% lower retention compared to human-fronted conversational content. The little stuff people use to edit out, the laughs, the small mistakes, the voice breaks, the tangents, those are now being read as positive trust signals by viewers. You don't need to be polished anymore. Anyway, let's talk about something else, right? Because I've been going on about not using AI for a while. Let's talk about brutal truth number 4, long titles. Long titles are fine. I guess that's not really a brutal truth. It's actually probably a bit of a relief, right? Because compacting titles to 60 characters is annoying, trying to squeeze it all in, right? But something shifted last year on YouTube, and longer titles suddenly started working. Anything over 86 characters and you start to see a drop off, but that gives you so much more to use than 60 characters, right? However, as always, there is some nuance to this. You still need to front load the hook into your title. The first 45 to 50 characters are the most important. You could add some extra information to the end. And because of mobile truncation, the most clickable part of your title is the start still, right? So that needs to land. So stop padding your titles with stuff like My Complete Guide too. Put the My Complete Guide at the end, right? You could use the Complete Guide thing or, whatever. You understand what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Put all that stuff at the end, front load the hook, and start using the real estate at the front to add something that's going to grab attention, a number, a time frame, a specific detail, or a curiosity gap. If you're using more characters, make them count. Now on to brutal truth number 5. Your thumbnail strategy, it probably sucks. I'm sorry, but it probably does. I mean, the data shows that most people's thumbnail strategies suck. And there are 2 reasons. First, it's that 82.7% of YouTube uses dark mode right now. 82.7% are using YouTube in dark mode. Second is that YouTube has transitioned into a TV first platform. A lot of people don't know this. Users watch over 1 billion hours of YouTube content on TVs daily. Yet most thumbnails are both low resolution and they are not designed to pop on dark mode. All the top creators are using higher resolution thumbnails right now, and they are designing thumbs to pop in dark mode. Look at this thumb from Dango. Big white blocky text. It hits you like a truck in the face, right? If you're in dark mode, this pops out. If your thumbnail is mostly dark colors, it blends in, especially if the text is dark. If you have text, you don't have to have text in your thumbnail, but if you do have text, if the text is too dark, if it doesn't pop, it's not good. If your thumbnail is low resolution also, it looks crap on a big screen. It makes your whole video look cheap. You can upload massive thumbnails to YouTube now, so do it. The fix to all this is simple, by the way. Make your thumbnails pop on dark backgrounds and make them high resolution. It's not that hard. Now on to brutal truth number 6. We're going back to the AI thing. Stop using AI for your thumbnails. Out of the top performing creators I've analyzed, almost none of them are using the one-click Gemini AI thumbnails or thumbnails from a lot of the AI thumbnail generating websites. As of December 2025, 47.3% of creators reported that they stopped using fully AI-generated thumbnails because of how badly they were performing. Since the June 2025 algorithm update, YouTube literally started flagging thumbnails with what they call excessive AI artifacts, glitches, floating objects, weird hands, the uncanny plastic look, the uncanny valley look on your face. Flagged thumbnails can lose up to 50% of their impressions. Insane. And it's not just an algorithm thing, by the way. Thumbnails featuring real human micro expressions get 22% higher clicks than hyper-polished AI versions. Now, look, I'm not saying don't use AI at all. I'm sure AI is helping the design process for backgrounds, for lighting tweaks, for color palettes, generating variants for A/B tests, all that kind of stuff. But the actual face, the actual emotion, the actual subject of your thumbnail, that needs to be a real person, not whatever Gemini cooked up at 2 a.m. in the morning when you couldn't be bothered, right? And this brings me to brutal truth number 7. This is the one I see creators absolutely torturing themselves over for absolutely no reason. Video retention. Everyone's obsessed with video retention, but it doesn't matter as much as you think it does for most niches. It's entirely niche dependent. I see so many creators worry about retention percentages without ever stopping to ask themselves whether retention is even the right metric for their niche. So let me break this down, and this is all data backed, like everything here, to be fair. In educational and tutorial content, you're aiming for 45 to 60% retention because viewers come from high intent. They come with high intent, looking for specific answers. In gaming and podcasts, 25 to 40% is completely normal because the format is long form and casual. In entertainment, retention is king. 40 to 50% on shorter videos, 50% plus on longer ones. But in news content, retention barely matters. Some of my best performing videos have the lowest retention. It's insane. Because if viewers come in, get the headline, get the answer, and they leave. And this isn't a failure, by the way. This is the entire point of that niche, of news-related niches, so like finance, news, stuff like that. But there's a reason to this, right? YouTube's 2026 algorithm now uses what they call good abandonment framework. If a viewer leaves after finding what they came for, you don't get penalized anymore. The signal still reads as satisfaction. YouTube benchmarks your video against other videos in your specific niche and at your specific length, not against the entire platform. Viewer satisfaction matters more than retention, which is important to understand because this means you shouldn't pad out your videos anymore or use cheesy retention tactics to keep the viewer watching. Why? Because this is really annoying and it leaves the viewer unsatisfied. They get annoyed and then they're not satisfied, and YouTube can detect satisfaction and then it penalizes your video. The whole 2026 algorithm has been rewired around one thing: satisfaction. Not impressions, not watch time, not retention, not raw clicks, satisfaction. YouTube is now measuring how viewers feel after watching through surveys, shares, comments, binge paths, and even how long it takes for them to start their next session. If a user watches all your videos after watching your first video, that is a huge boost to the video they just watched. And the channels that are blowing up are the ones treating viewers like humans, sounding like humans, and showing up like humans. Ad-lib delivery, live streams that make people feel something, conversational tone like you're having a drink with a mate, descriptive long titles that actually tell the algorithm what's happening, thumbnails that pop in dark mode with real human faces, and content lengths that match your niche, not some random rule from a 2021 guru video, right? This is the entire game in 2026. If you found this video useful, watch my last video. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.